Hey, what's up guys? It's a Sports Blitz here, and we're back with another NFL mock draft. Before we jump into it, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. We're less than 100 subscribers away from 1,000 now, and that's my biggest goal on YouTube. So if you guys could help me reach that goal and subscribe, that'd be super appreciated. Guys, today I'm bringing you a 2-round mock draft with trades. We will be doing trades, including players as well, so I think it's going to be really fun. So go ahead and sit tight and let's jump into it. So number 1 for the Jacksonville Jaguars, we're not going to have them trade right now. We're going to go ahead and have them take Aiden Hutchinson from Michigan. I think Neal is definitely possible right here. I think the Jags could definitely take him. I think they have confidence in Walker Little, as well as I could very well see them franchise tagging Cam Robinson again, or possibly even extending him long term this offseason. I feel like that team has too many holes that, you know, really if they franchise tag him and then go ahead and draft Aiden Hutchinson, I feel like they'd be pretty well off. So then number 2, we're going to go ahead and have the Lions take Kayvon Thibodeau from Oregon. Definitely could use some pass rush help. Here at number 3, we're going to go ahead and have the Texans go ahead and take Neal from Alabama. Laramie Tunsil is already there at left tackle, and he's a pretty damn good one at that. So you go ahead and throw Neal at right tackle, and that quickly becomes one of the better tackle tandems in the NFL. Right tackle is actually Neal's kind of natural position. He just kind of started playing left tackle this year, so he can do either side, really. But then here for the Jets, there are a few things the Jets could do. I think some guys like Kyle Hamilton, Derek Stingley, possibly, maybe even Ikem Ekwonu are on the board right here. I've been roasted by a lot of Jets fans for taking either Kyle Hamilton or Derek Stingley right here. Apparently, Jets fans just aren't super happy with any of it. I think what we are going to do is, I think we're going to go ahead and go with Kyle Hamilton. My reason for that is safeties like Kyle Hamilton don't come around every year, okay? It's not a safety that they can just pick up in free agency and they'd give the same type of impact. Yeah, there's some good safeties later on like Daxton Hill, Jaquan Brisker, Jordan Battle, but Kyle Hamilton is special. He is very special, and with them likely losing Marcus May, that secondary could use some help. I think the Jets would very much like to take him there. So then here at number 5, the New York Giants, I think, are going to go ahead and take Ikem Ekwonu. Now, Giants fans, Andrew Thomas had a really good season this year. He was one of the better left tackles in the league. Ikem Ekwonu, really, he can play left tackle or left guard. I think he can honestly be one of the more dominant guards in the league if you put him there. And really, I feel like there's a very solid chance that either him or Andrew Thomas can play right tackle. So really, just figure out which one of them does better at right tackle, put him there, put the other one at left tackle, and I'd say that's a pretty solid tackle tandem. I think that really helps the offensive line. Here for the Carolina Panthers, we have our first trade, and what we're going to do is we are going to, so we're going to go ahead and have the Panthers send their pick to the Texans. They are going to acquire Desean Watson. So the Panthers are going to go ahead and send this year's first. Obviously, they don't have anything sooner than a 4th, so they're gonna go ahead and offer this year's 4th, and then next year's first, second, and third, and a 2023 first. Yes, it will take that much for Desean Watson. He is a superstar quarterback, and I very much think that it would take that. In return, since this is a 2-round mock draft, we're not going to send this number 37 pick. We're going to send 68 instead, because really it's a player they're getting back, not a pick. So this number 68 pick right here will represent Desean Watson. So we'll go ahead and send the offer. Okay, so then the Panthers go ahead and get Desean Watson right there. Since this is now the Texans back on the board, we can reevaluate the options here. So where they took Evan Neal earlier on, I don't think they go tackle. Texans fans, let me know what you guys would want to do here. If you really, really want to stack up on the offensive line, you could go ahead and take Tyler Linderbaum right here. I'd be a huge fan of that. I think you should keep giving Davis Mills another chance. I think he's played really well for what he's been given. I really like Derek Stingley from LSU. I'm a big fan of that. I think their secondary could absolutely use the help. So I'm going to go ahead and have them take Derek Stingley here. Okay, and then here the Giants are back on the board, and I am going to this time, excuse me, I'm going to this time go ahead and have them take Tyler Linderbaum from Iowa. He is the best interior offensive lineman in the draft. Now, I guess that depends on if Akeem Ekwonu plays left guard instead of tackle, because then he could very well be in that mix. But in this case, we're going to assume Akeem Ekwonu will be either left tackle or right tackle. So, yeah, I love Tyler Linderbaum. He's powerful for his size. I know he's only about 300 pounds right now. I expect him to put on 10, 15 pounds before the season starts. He's powerful. I've never seen him get blown into the quarterback. He creates exceptional run lanes for, the running back. He's just an all-around athlete. I think the Giants would be really dumb to pass on him. But then here for the Falcons, there have been more and more rumors lately about them potentially trading Calvin Ridley. Again, I don't know how true all that is. I think wide receiver is possible right here, but I think it'd be kind of dumb for the Falcons to not address pass rush. I'm going to go ahead and take George Karlaftis right here. I think he can really help out in the run game as well as rush the passer well. So then here at number 9, we have our second trade. We are going to have the Broncos acquire Aaron Rodgers from the Green Bay Packers. So what it'll be is the Broncos will send their first and second rounder, well, at least their first second rounder here, as well as next year's first and third. I don't know exactly what the value is. I know the value kind of falls because of how old Aaron Rodgers is, so I don't know exactly how much to offer. We're going to assume 2 firsts, a second, and a third is enough, but who knows with how good he is. It could be more value than that. But since this is just going to be a player, we're going to have this pick 255 represent Aaron Rodgers in this case. So they're going to go ahead and send the offer. Okay, so the Broncos now have acquired Aaron Rodgers. And with the Packers on the board right here, I think they would be very smart to, I think they could very much keep Jordan Love. I think he's promising. I think a guy like Kenny Pickett is possible if they don't have that much confidence in Jordan Love. I think they should stick with him if they do trade Aaron Rodgers. We don't know exactly if they will, but I think in this case, I think we're going to go ahead and give the Packers David Ojabo from Michigan. I feel like their secondary is great. I feel like their offensive line is doing pretty well as well. I think David Ojabo would be absolutely great to put opposite of Zadarius Smith. So then here we have the Jets. With both Karlaftis and Ojabo off the board now, it makes this a little bit more complicated. It'll be interesting to see what the Jets do with Morgan Moses. I don't think they have re-signed him, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's, if I remember right, I believe he's set to be a free agent. So we could definitely look at tackle. Charles Cross is a guy I feel like honestly could play right tackle. I mean, I know he's normally a left tackle, but I feel like he has the technique down that he can be right tackle. He needs to get a stronger anchor. Needs to be a little bit tougher. So I would say it's very much between him and Andrew Booth. Or they could honestly go Kenyon Green. Have an offensive line with Mekhi Becton, Elijah Vera Tucker, Kenyon Green, Morgan Moses, and then I want to say their center is still Connor McGovern. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jets fans. I think that'd be a pretty solid offensive line. So I guess it depends on if they want a right tackle to replace Morgan Moses more, or if they want another guard. I think let's go ahead and take guard Kenyon Green right here. Then here for the Washington football team, we are going to do a third trade. Yes, another quarterback trade. So the Washington football team is going to trade with the Seattle Seahawks to acquire Russell Wilson. Again, I don't know the exact value. I don't think it's really been talked about, but I do think it'd take at least, this year's first and second. We'll offer next year's first, second, and third as well. Again, I don't know the exact value, so don't roast me for, what we're giving up for the trade. But I think this is very much something that's possible. So we'll go ahead and have this pick 151 represent Russell Wilson. So now the Washington football team has acquired Russell Wilson, and with the Seahawks on the board, they very much need some cornerback help as well as some secondary help. Unfortunately, sorry, I didn't mean to say quarterback help. I meant to say secondary help and offensive line help. Though, with them now being rid of Russell Wilson, they could very much need a quarterback. So that actually isn't an incorrect statement. I think they could very much take a guy like Kenny Pickett. He's mobile. He has a good deep ball. I would also, I don't know for sure, but I kind of expect this to be Pete Carroll's last year. I'm not really sure. We'll find out. But I think Kenny Pickett would be a good replacement. I think his skill set is very similar to Russell Wilson's. So I think that'd be a solid pick since they're, trading him. So we're going to go ahead and have the Seahawks take Kenny Pickett right here. So then here at number 12, the Minnesota Vikings are on the board, and I've been mentioning they really need some cornerback help. Obviously with the Bashad Breeland issues, and him having to get cut because of it. The Jeff Gladney issues prior to the season. And really, I don't know how much longer Patrick Peterson will be playing, and especially playing at a high level. So I think Andrew Booth would definitely be a solid pick right here. For the Browns, they have already said they committed to Baker Mayfield for 2022, so I think they should definitely go wide receiver, and I think the best fit for them is my favorite receiver in the draft right now, and that's Garrett Wilson from Ohio State. Then for the Ravens, now, I've gotten a lot of hate for mocking Jordan Davis to them in the past. I didn't realize their rush defense was really as good as it really is. So a few other options here I think could be Charles Cross. I know Charles Cross is kind of more of a technical pass blocker. He's not really like a heavy, zone run tackle, and that's what the Ravens run. So I don't know that he'd really be a good fit there. So I'd be really hesitant to take him right there. Here's what I'm gonna do. So I know that Ravens fans, I know this kind of contradicts everything that I've been saying about the Ravens. I think they could very well find a way to re-sign Marcus Peters with him being a free agent. But we're going to say in the case that they aren't able to, they end up taking the number 3 corner in the draft in Ahmad Gardner from Cincinnati. I think Marcus Peters will be very expensive. I think he'll be somewhere in the $18 million a year range. I think the Ravens, while he may be worth it, I mean, you've kind of got to, save some of your cap. I mean, pretty soon you're going to need to extend Lamar Jackson. And I mean, I think Ahmad Gardner is the 3rd best corner in this draft. I think, I think he's really good. So then here for the Eagles, I already know what 2 players I'm going to pick right here. Guys, at every single mock draft, Devin Lloyd, I'm telling you, watch his tape. Don't just watch his highlights. Watch his actual tape. This dude is incredibly smart. He flies around making plays. Like, it's kind of scary how well he knows the play before the play happens. It's kind of Luke Kuechly-like in a way. I think he'd be an absolute steal for the Eagles, and I think he'd be a perfect fit for them as well. I think the Ravens could very well take him right there as well. I think he'd work out pretty well with the Ravens if they do re-sign Marcus Peters, but if they don't, Ahmad Gardner would be a perfect pick there. But with the Eagles' next pick, we are going to go ahead and give them, I think we're going to go ahead and give them Jameson Williams. I don't feel like they really have a true, great deep threat for wide receiver. I feel like Devontae Smith is a really good route runner, and he's quick, good after the catch. But I don't really look at him as, a fantastic deep threat. I think Jameson Williams would be better. Plus, he played with Devontae Smith. I mean, some of that, like, wide receiver quarterback chemistry, it's a real thing. Look at Joe Burrow. Excuse me. Look at Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Chemistry between quarterbacks and receivers, and really teammates in general, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. So I think Jameson Williams would be a good pick for them. Then for the Chargers, well, since David Ojabo and George Karlaftis are not on the board right here, I think they should go ahead and go with the interior. Their interior D-line really needs some help. I know they've got Linval Joseph and Jerry Tillery. There's not really much beyond that. And really, I feel like Jerry Tillery has been, in my opinion, pretty disappointing. I feel like he had pretty high hopes. So I think they should go ahead and draft Jordan Davis from Georgia. I love this guy. He can eat up blocks all day and stop the run really well. He's about unblockable. And then for the Saints, we are going to today go ahead and give them Chris Olave from Ohio State. I think they should very much stick with Jameis Winston and, give him another year, give him some more weapons. I think Chris Olave is going to be a stud in the NFL. So then with the Eagles, they are back on the board. I think they should go ahead and go with Kaiir Elam with this pick. Kaiir Elam is my number 4 corner in this class, but don't let that fool you. This cornerback class is absolutely nuts. Like, I don't know really the last time there was a cornerback class that was this deep. Now, I know you can make the argument of, if it's that deep, then, why don't they wait and just take the best player available? Kaiir Elam is just an absolute playmaker, okay? You put him alongside Darius Slay, along with those other additions on defense, that defense is going to be disgusting. I think Kaiir Elam would be amazing right there. Then here for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think they should go quarterback. I think they should try to fix their offensive line in free agency. So I'm going to go ahead and have them take Matt Corral from Ole Miss. I think he may be the most NFL ready right now. I think Malik Willis has the highest upside, but Matt Corral has a pretty high ceiling as well. I feel like he could be a really good playmaker too, but he's the most NFL ready, and I feel like that's kind of what the Steelers want. Then for the Patriots, really the only good receiver, first-round receiver left on the board is Treylon Burks. So they're gonna go ahead and snag him from Arkansas. And then with the Miami Dolphins on the board, I can't believe Charles Cross has lasted this long. I feel like if he makes it this far, the Dolphins would be dumb not to take him. So taking Charles Cross from Mississippi State. And then the Raiders here, they could definitely use some defensive tackle help, as well as, maybe some corner help. If a speedster for a receiver was still on the board, they could take him to replace Henry Ruggs. But I think their best option right here would be DeMarvin Leal from Texas A&M. Then we've got the Arizona Cardinals. They need a cornerback and an edge rusher. I think the pick for them is Roger McCreary from Auburn. Then for the Bengals, we're going to go ahead and give them Nicholas Petit Ferrer. I've been saying the last few weeks that he is very underrated. I don't really get why he's not being talked about more. He really can play tackle or guard. He's a solid pass blocker, but he can also create really good gaps in the run game. I feel like, especially during the combine, his stock is going to rise quite a bit. For the Buffalo Bills, I'm going to go ahead and have them take Trayvon Walker from Georgia. Go and give them some more edge help. Then for the Lions, I'm going to go ahead and have them take Nakobe Dean. I've been mentioning before, he's tough and gritty. I think he's the exact player that Dan Campbell wants in the middle of that defense. I feel like it's just a perfect fit. I really do. I think he'd be a perfect captain of that defense. For the Cowboys, I'm going to go ahead and have them take the best safety on the board, in my opinion, and that is Daxton Hill. Jordan Battle is really up there. I'd honestly take Jordan Battle over Jaquan Brisker as well. Brisker is good. Don't get me wrong at all. Brisker's really good. But Daxton Hill and Jordan Battle are really, really good safeties, and there's some solid safeties in this class. There really are. Okay, then for the Kansas City Chiefs, we are going to go ahead and give them... Shoot. This one might take a little bit of thinking. I think let's go ahead and give them Trevor Penning. I know that Orlando Brown is a free agent this offseason. I don't know how much he's going to cost to re-sign. If they are able to re-sign him, Trevor Penning can very much play offensive guard if needed, so he can slide in if needed. And really, if they can't re-sign Orlando Brown, they've got a really solid left tackle right there. So, go ahead and give them Trevor Penning. Then, for the Buccaneers, we're going to go ahead and give them Jordan Battle from Alabama. Go ahead and give... I just forgot his name. Antoine Winfield Jr. Give him some help on the other side at safety. I feel like really once they get their secondary kind of figured out and healthy, especially, they really need to get healthy. I feel like the Bucs defense will be back to being a top tier defense. Then here with the Titans on the board, I know this is going to be a very questionable move to a lot of Titans fans. I'm going to go ahead and have them take Jaquan Brisker. Okay, they've got Kevin Byard, and he's one of the best safeties in the NFL. If you ask me, I think he's top 5. I really do. But you put another safety back there in Jaquan Brisker, I think it quickly becomes one of the best safety tandems in the NFL. I think it really starts to compete with the Bills tandem in Micah Hyde and what's his name? And Jordan Poyer. So I think right now they're the best safety tandem in the NFL, but you get Jaquan Brisker right here. I think it gives them a run for their money. Here the Packers are back on the board, and we are going to go ahead and give... I think we're going to go ahead and give Jordan Love another weapon, and we'll go ahead and give them Jahan Dotson from Penn State. Then for the Jacksonville Jaguars, there is not a lot on the board for the Jaguars to take, if we're being honest. Because they definitely don't need a quarterback. I mean, they took Trevor Lawrence last year. He's still developing. They took an edge in the first round. I know that their guard, Andrew Norwell, will be a free agent, so they could definitely take him right there. I think actually let's take Drake London. Go ahead and give Trevor Lawrence some better weapons. I think that'll really help his production. But then with the Lions back on the board, we are going to go ahead and give them Trent McDuffie from Washington. Really help out that secondary. Then we got the Jets back on the board. We took an interior offensive lineman early on. I think now let's go ahead and take... Yeah, let's go ahead and take Jermaine Johnson from Florida State. Then the Giants are on the board. They're pretty upset that we took Jermaine Johnson because they really wanted him. They could definitely take Cam Thomas right here, but I feel like that's a little bit of a reach. I feel like their wide receivers didn't really perform this year the way they wanted them to, so they could definitely go wide receiver. I do like John Mechie quite a bit. I'm kind of surprised he's projected this low. I think we're going to go ahead and give them John Mechie from Alabama. Yeah, I think that might be the best remaining pick on the board. Or if you want to even get another guard, you could even get Darian Kennard from Kentucky. Really stack that offensive line. But I think right now let's go ahead and get John Mechie. Go ahead and give Daniel Jones, or really if it ends up being a different quarterback back there, give them some more weapons. All right, so now the Texans are back on the board. Let's see. They could go with Cam Thomas from San Diego State if they wanted. I'm honestly a little bit intrigued by the thought of giving them Kenneth Walker from Michigan State, because they seem like the team that really wants to be a run-first type of team. They could also go with an interior offensive lineman in Darian Kennard or Zion Johnson. I think I actually like Zion Johnson more than Kennard, if I'm being honest. But man, I'm actually very intrigued about the thought of them getting Kenneth Walker. I think that would really help their run game quite a bit. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give them Kenneth Walker. I think that'd be sneaky fun to watch. Then for the Jets, let's see. So let me evaluate what their offensive line would be looking at like right now. I'll be right back. Okay, so I don't think the Jets O-line really needs any more adjustments, at least as of now. So what I was thinking is at left tackle, they've got Mekhi Becton. He's a stud. Left guard, you've got either Elijah Vera-Tucker or Kenyon Green. Right guard, you've got the other one of them. Center, you've got Connor McGovern, who I feel like is actually pretty underrated. I think he's actually a pretty solid center. And Morgan Moses, he's done better this year than people give him credit for. He's only allowed 4 sacks the whole season, and for a tackle, that's actually really good. So I don't think the Jets really need to make another change to the offensive line right now. I think what we're gonna do is actually give Zach Wilson another weapon. Trying to think. Let me go ahead and go wide receiver. Yeah, I think George Pickens would be the best receiver on the board right here, so we're going to go ahead and take him. Alright, then here for the Bears, we're going to go ahead and take Bernard Raymond from Central Michigan. I've actually seen him mocked even in the first round. I think he's pretty underrated. He can honestly play tackle or guard if you'd like, and where Justin Fields was constantly under pressure and got sacked a lot, they need offensive line help. Give your quarterback a chance to do something, you know. The Bears' offensive line hasn't really done that so far. So then the Packers are back on the board. Let's see, they've taken an edge and a wide receiver so far. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and give them... I'm thinking let's give them Christian Harris from Alabama. Give them a linebacker. And then here for the Seahawks, they need really help everywhere on the offensive line as well as edge. I think let's go ahead and go interior offensive line and go Darian Kennard from Kentucky. Then they've got actually another pick right here. I didn't actually see that. Let's go ahead and go Cam Thomas. So that way they address the offensive line and edge rusher right there. I think that really helps out. Then we have the Falcons back on the board. They have said they commit to Matt Ryan in 2022. So, you know what? I'm not sure really if Calvin Ridley is going to be back or not. Seems like the rumors are starting to heat up more. I actually heard more about it today. I think let's go ahead and have them take David Bell from Purdue. Then for the Browns, man, edge rushers and receivers have flown off the board today. And quarterbacks really haven't at all, actually. You know what? Okay, the Browns said they commit to Baker Mayfield this year. But just in case he doesn't perform this year, why not give him someone that, you know, can play really well if he ends up needing to get benched? Let's go ahead and give them Malik Willis from Liberty. Then we've got the Ravens on the board again. Here is a better tackle for the Ravens. A big dude that can be a good heavy zone run blocking offensive tackle. Daniel Falele from Minnesota. The dude is like 6'7", 6'8", and I want to say like 340 pounds, I believe. That is a lot better of a fit for the Ravens than Charles Cross would in the first. So, then for the Vikings, see, they already took a corner in the first round. They could honestly use interior offensive linemen. I think let's go ahead and take Zion Johnson. Zion Johnson's a stud. I think he's going to be one of the better guards in this class. Then for the Colts, there's been a lot of talk about Carson Wentz not necessarily being for sure the guy in 2022. And, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens right there. I'm going to go ahead and give them Sam Howell from North Carolina. I think they get an absolute steal right here. Then the Chargers are on the board. Now they're able to address the edge position because they got a defensive tackle earlier on. Let's go ahead and get Drake Jackson to go on the opposite side of Joey Bosa. Then the Saints, I don't feel like they really need a corner like it says right there. I really don't. I think what we end up doing is addressing the edge. Cam Jordan is, I want to say he's like 34, 35 now. He's getting a little bit up there in age. I'm not sure how much longer he's going to play. if we're being honest. So I'm going to go ahead and take Majai Sanders. I like him more than Logan Hall. And then the Dolphins are back on the board. We're going to go ahead and give them Isaiah Spiller from Texas A&M. Really, they've got to get a better run game. Their run game is not good enough, and it's going to make it harder on Tua if they don't, fix the run game. So then the Eagles are on the board, and since they didn't take an edge earlier on, I think they can very much do that now. So we're going to go ahead and give them Logan Hall from Houston. Then with the Steelers back on the board, they took a quarterback early on in Matt Corral. Now they can go with offensive line and take Sean Ryan. They need offensive linemen really about everywhere, if we're being honest. So really whatever's available right there, they've got to take it to help. Then the San Francisco 49ers are on the board. We're going to go ahead and give them Martin Emerson from Mississippi State. The Raiders are now on the board, and let's see. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of what's on the board because they don't really need edge because you got Max Crosby and Yannick Ngakoue. I guess you could get another edge to go in the rotation there. You could take another linebacker, but I feel like their linebacking core is pretty solid. They're fine with tight ends. I think the best available thing to do here is probably go with Lewis Cine at safety. Man, I know that's not what Raiders fans want to hear. Or, you know what? Okay, yeah, let's actually go Darion Kendrick from Georgia. He's a pretty underrated corner in this class. Like I said, this corner class is so deep. The Raiders really need some secondary help. And, again, if they want to take Lewis Cine, they very much can. They could use some safety help. But, they've got Trayvon Moehrig. They've got Jonathan Abram. Sorry, I couldn't think of his name for a minute. But I feel like they could use some cornerback help to help out Casey Hayward. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and go with Darion Kendrick. All right, so now we got the Patriots back on the board. And we're going to go ahead and give them Josh Pascal from Kentucky to help out the edge rush. The Cardinals also need some edge rushing help, so we're going to go ahead and give them Isaiah Foskey from Notre Dame. Then we got the Bengals on the board now. We're going to go ahead and actually give them Lewis Cine. Go ahead and help out on the opposite side of Jesse Bates. I think that would be one of the better safety tandems as well. Then we have the Bills on the board again, and the Bills also need a better run game. I think Zach Charbonnet is probably the best option here, though you could also go with Jamari Salyer instead, because I know some of their issues may be just with their interior offensive linemen not being great, not opening gaps very well. So whichever one you really want to go with. Actually, come to think of it, I think that would be the better pick. Because their interior offensive line really needs some help. Then for the Cowboys, we're going to go ahead and give them... We're going to go ahead and give them cornerback Kyler Gordon from Washington. Then the Broncos are on the board. I mean, they got Aaron Rodgers earlier, so they don't need quarterback anymore. Let's go ahead and just give them linebacker Darian Beavers. And let's be honest, if they get Aaron Rodgers, I'm not even sure if they'll have that pick right there. That may end up being a Packers pick. Then for the Chiefs, we'll go ahead and give them Kingsley and Enigberry. It's still hard to pronounce his name. I'm terrible at pronouncing some of these guys' names, but we'll go ahead and give them him. Got 3 more picks on the board. We've got the Buccaneers right here. I think let's go ahead and give them... you know what? I'm not sure how much longer Gronk is going to play, if I'm being honest. So we're going to go ahead and give them tight end Trey McBride from Colorado State. Then we're going to go ahead and give the Falcons Devontae Wyatt, help that interior D-line as well. And lastly, the last pick of the second round, the Packers, we're going to go ahead and give them tight end Isaiah Likely. I know their current tight end, Robert Tonyan, is good, but I mean he's been injured. I'm not sure I'd really call him injury prone yet, but you want to have some, some coverage in case he does get injured again. So Isaiah Likely would be a good pick. So there you have it. There's my 2-round. There's my 2-round mock draft with trades. Let me know what you guys think of it. Again, guys, this is my longest mock draft I think I've ever done. So if you guys would do me a huge favor and smash that like button and subscribe. I'm only 96 subs away from 1,000 subscribers. I cannot stress how badly I want to reach that goal. So if you guys could help me out with that, I'd appreciate it a ton. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Later.